Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a great day. It's another fabulous day to be having a fabulous day. Today, I want to talk to you about tricks for true success. So, what I have devised is my 7 tricks for true success. Things that I find definitely help you to go down your path to succeed in any aspect of your life. You know, whether it's a job, whether it's a dream, whether it's a goal. You can use these tricks and tips to really sort of help guide you along and help you make that success a bit faster. So, the very first thing I want to talk to you about is knowing your why. Now, you might hear me say this a lot, but knowing your why, in my opinion, is one of the most important. And you will hear a lot of other entrepreneurs and quite successful people say that understanding your why is going to be very, very, very helpful for those hard times. You know, say you're struggling, things aren't going your way, you know, you're having a bit of a rough patch, whatever it may be, knowing your why and knowing the exact reason why you're doing this is really going to push you along through the hard times. So, number 1 is knowing your why. And knowing your why. And yes, it is one of the most important, so I will actually be doing a whole video on it itself and going through how to really break down the very deep levels of knowing your why and really what's the underlying issue and what the underlying reason is maybe for why you're reaching out, why you're making dreams and goals. Anyway, number 2. Now, you might have heard this a lot, but finding something you're passionate about, you get excited, right? We want to find something that we are passionate about. You want your job to wake you up in the morning. You know, when you get out of bed, you don't want to have to slam on an alarm clock, roll out of bed and walk yourself over to work or to the shower just thinking okay, what am I going to do today? No. You want to find something you're passionate about, something that gets you excited, something that makes you jump out of bed and run down the stairs like it's Christmas morning. You know, if you love what you do, it's a very cliche saying, but you never work a day in your life, and it's true. You wake up, personally, I wake up, I walk over to my computer, I'm like, okay, what do we got going on today? I'm loving what could be on my screen, what things that have happened overnight, any income, any news, all that sort of stuff. So find something you're passionate about, making you jump out of bed. Number 3, we have, get a mentor. That's right. Get yourself someone who has done what you want to do. Get a mentor. Now, while figuring things out on your own and trialing and failing is all crucial parts of learning and growing, finding someone who has got what you want and has done what you've done and basically copying them, studying them, learning how they did it is going to be your fastest way to success. So if you think about it, all great people have mentors. You think about Roger Federer, tennis player. You know, he still has a coach. He does training all the time with a personal coach. He's better than his coach, most likely, because he's the number 1 player in the world, but he still goes there. He still gets trained. He still gets guided. He still uses his mentor for clarity, for an outside perspective, for things that he might not be focusing on or, might not be in his mindset. So get yourself a mentor. They can guide you. Now, this doesn't have to be a professional. It could be a friend. It could be all sorts of things. And you don't have to just get one mentor. Get multiple for different aspects. I mean, I'm not going to use my mentor for, say, personal training than I am for dancing, for example. They might be good at both, but you want someone who's good at a particular thing and use their guidance and their knowledge to help you get better. For example, I have multiple mentors, some which are one-on-one. So I've got like Trevor. He's a good friend of mine. He's younger than I am, but he's done what I've done better than I have. So I use him as a mentor, one I can reach out to for accountability, for everyday handy hints. Then there's people like Bob Proctor, Alex Morton, Fraser Brooks, people who are really good in my field that I can learn from. I don't have a one-on-one discussion with them on a daily basis, but their information is so valuable and I'm always learning, always studying, always hearing what they have to say and trying to implement that into my day-to-day. So getting a mentor is really going to boost the speed of your growth. Now, finding a community. Number 4. Getting yourself involved in a community really helps with your learning. Now, when I was at uni, for ages I'd find an assignment, I'd be sitting on my own. Got to a point I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's too hard. So I'd get up, go for a walk, and usually there'd be a group of people all sitting around working together to try and find the answers to this solution. Now, what I found is when you go and involve yourself with that, you might be stuck on this equation for so long, and one person just says the right thing at the right time that just triggers your brain, and then boom, you're off, and you can do the next third of the equation, and then you get stuck again, and someone else will say the right thing at the right time, and before you know it, you've together found the solution. It's the same thing. If you join a community for your dreams, your goals, your business, whatever it is that you want to achieve, you're surrounding yourself by people who want the same thing as you. And they often say, you are the sum of the 5 closest people you surround yourself by. So if you surround yourself by a bunch of recreational drug users, there's a very high chance that you're going to become one. If you surround yourself by a bunch of millionaires, then there's a very high chance that you're going to be the next millionaire. Either that, or you'll leave the group. But surrounding yourself in a community of like-minded people who want the same thing is really going to help, again, during those hard times, during those struggles, being able to reach out, talk to people, communicate, ask questions, and again, all work together to get that growth at a faster rate. Now, next we have, by the way, I just want to say, how cool are these little pictures and stickers that my lovely girlfriend Sarah has done for me? I'm very lucky. They add a whole new dimension. She spent a lot of time. She's really good at it. So just a selfless plug. If you like jewelry, etc., go check her out. At Sarah Lome's Instagram. She makes beautiful handcrafted jewelry. So go have that a look. Anyway, back to the topic. We have knowing your why, finding something you're passionate about, getting a mentor, getting involved in a community, and now we have a healthy balance. Healthy balance. This is very, very crucial. I mean, how many times have you heard of people who they work all the time and then they don't have time for friends, family, or social, and they get run down and, tired and exhausted? Or people who just party all night long and all weekend and then they never get any work done, right? I can honestly say I've done a bit of both. But finding this healthy balance was crucial for me to start making progression in my business and my success, right? What I did was found the nice balance between these 4 subjects. You have spiritual, whether you're religious or any of that sort of spiritual in a different aspect, just grounded. Lots of, when you get into spirituality, you'll find that there's lots of mindset stuff and a whole bunch of other similarities between all different religions and the world. And it's a very interesting topic to get into. But finding a balance between spirituality, your emotional side, because emotions are very powerful. We have your physical side. So keeping fit and healthy, regular exercise, keeping your body as well as your mind at its peak. And then lastly, mental. So like I said, keeping your mind fed, constantly learning, constantly building, constantly growing. Your brain is a super powerful muscle basically. Well, it's not a muscle, but it's something that you need to keep working on, just like if you want to have a six-pack or any of these other aspects. So keeping a healthy balance between these 4. And one thing that I learned, again, this one was from my my mentor Trevor. It's called the life cycle. Now, if you haven't heard of the life circle, definitely go have a look. The idea here is there's 12 different categories between spiritual, friends, family, relationships, work, business, travel, a whole bunch of categories. And what you do is you list them and it's rank them from 1 to 10. 1 being you never pay attention to it, and 10 being you spend all your time on it. And the idea is to make an equal array. So you go through, and the ones that you're really low on, for the next couple of months, you'll write a list of 3 different things that will help you to get better at that particular topic. So I like to take 3 of them and then write down 3 or 4 things that I can do better. So over the next 2 months, I'll keep that list somewhere and I'll actually work. Have I done this? Have I, say if it's relationship, okay, I'm going to make a date night once a week with my girlfriend. I'm going to do something nice for her randomly. Or, let's say I'm going to make her breakfast in bed once a week or things like that. After 2 months, you can say, have I been doing these things? Have I improved in this aspect of my life? And the idea is to make sure that you're equally attentive to all aspects, to find that healthy balance. So next, we have multiple sources of income. I'm slightly running out of room, but I'm sure you've heard the saying that most millionaires have several sources of income. So, you could have, let's say, you could have a job. You could have investments in aspects like stocks, for example. You could have residential. You could also have like savings interest. Now, there are a lot of different ways that you can have income. You might have second jobs. You might have multiple properties. But the idea is to not be reliant on one form of income. If you have just one form of income, then what happens when that disappears? Do you know how many people really suffered over the last year and a half with this global pandemic? They were all reliant on one income. That one income had to pay mortgage, had to put food on the table, pay the bills, cars, phone, all that sort of stuff. The debt bills that had to be taken out. Everything was reliant on that one source of income. And then the pandemic happens and you lose that job. How long are your savings going to last? So what you need to do is get multiple sources of income. Some people do have 2 or 3 jobs, but that's very time consuming. So making your income in different areas like, say, crypto or, stocks or whatever other things you can think of is going to help you in scenarios like we've just had. If you were to lose your job right now, what would you do and how would you survive? It's a very important question you've got to ask yourself. So multiple sources of income, very important for long-term survival in this cruel world sometimes. And lastly, and yes, I'm slightly running out of room, but routine. Being a uni student for 8 years, I never had a good routine. I was waking up at any time. I was studying all night, and then I was working random hours, and then I'd go out, and then I would, get up for something or other, and my routine was all over the place. It's sustainable for a little while, but your body just ends up collapsing, and it's so hard to keep things in line. You want to get yourself a good routine. So I've got a little bit of a timetable here. It's a very basic version. I do have a second sort of timetable which fills in the gaps here, but this is something that keeps me a lot more concentrated and a lot more guided in my daily routines. In fact, my daily routine usually starts the night before. So what I do is I write down my tasks for the next day and recap the day that's just been. And then when I wake up in the morning, usually phasey, a bit sluggish, I know exactly what I need to be doing. So my clarity is there so that I can really get started and get motivated and get started with my day nice and direct. So just going over, we have knowing your why, finding something you're passionate about, getting a mentor, get yourself into a community, finding a healthy balance between spiritual, emotional, physical, and mental health using the life circle, getting multiple sources of income as protection, and getting into a nice routine to get your daily tasks done. Well, I hope that has helped. These are 7 tricks of mine that have really helped progress my success, and I hope they will help you as well. But for now, that is it, and I will be looking forward to the next time we chat. Bye.